We're going to talk about the dark corner of influence. This is where young women are lured with stacks of cash, thinking they're going to do something super simple, but they end up doing something even worse than they thought. This video is not for anyone who is under the age of probably 21. In this video, we'll talk about self-harm, self-exit, and abuse. Again, viewer discretion is advised. What's up, my friends, and welcome back once again. If you're new to the Neighborhood, welcome on in. We talk about a lot of stuff on this channel, and I had specifically been receiving requests for Dubai Porta Potty videos. There's other stories on the channel that you could check out that'll make you laugh, maybe make you cry. I don't know. Check them out. See if you'd like to subscribe. If you would, go ahead and do so. If you're already a member of the Neighborhood, this one is going to be nasty, girl, nasty. Oh, don't be eating during this one. When I say wealthy men in Dubai, I mean the wealthy businessmen, royal elite, politicians. These are men you would never assume would be into this type of play. Many of them are billionaires. They got that oil and resource money. They have access to private jets, security, a discreet way to get what they need. They also have yachts to make the girls have a good time. Because of their power and their protection, it's very easy for them to cover up their illegal activity, especially the degrading behavior when it's done behind closed doors. Because no matter what, it seems like this is a country that if they can't see it, they ain't gonna speak about it. Some of the royal and rich men that we're discussing are known to throw these big parties. These are secret parties where they invite influencers from all over the world, and in exchange, these people join for money or bags or just the exclusive opportunity to be around people who seem prestigious. And of course, this is a free trip to Dubai, always all expenses paid. Now, what they saying is they have these private brokers who they disguise as assistants.
Are you looking for a rich Arab husband? I got you, Habibti.
These assistants go out, seek the women who are obviously selling it online via Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever. They slide in their inbox and they're like, hey, do you want to come and party with the prince? Do you want to come and party with royalty? Do you want to come to a party where you ain't got to spend no money, baby? And you know another one they use? WhatsApp. And these men are from Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait. These are the type of men who often want more power, more control, more dominance, and they're willing to pay to feel it. There's also websites that these brokers or assistants can go to in order to find who they're looking for. Tag the Sponsor was a very popular one, and the screenshots leaked from there, which gave us clues as to what really goes on at these parties. One of the websites that got screenshot and posted all over the internet, that was a site that people were able to find messages on and able to figure out exactly how these assistants or these brokers are talking. It doesn't even stop there. Once these people get to the events, they make them sign NDAs. I wonder why. There were models and people who attended the party who were showing receipts where they was getting money between $40,000 and $100,000 to go. And it was always posed as private dinners with these rich men. But once they got there, that dark reality set in, baby. Oh, it set in. They were expected to perform activities with animals, feces, urine, and the list continues. Now, it started overseas, especially like UAE.
Guys, the video is so nice that I cannot stop crying. Thank you, God. Thank you for all this. Like, wow. How can such a thing exist? And you still be complaining about other people?
Then it got into Europe. You know, it started hitting social media. That's when the US girls started to learn about it. They say over in Canada, it's normal. If you meet a girl who got all her expenses paid and she live in a high rise in a certain part of the city, they already know what she doing. Hell, in Kansas City, they say if you stay around 2 lights, 3 lights, like in those buildings, then you got a Chiefs player who probably put you up or some type of athlete. That's why I had to move from downtown, because I was like, no. Okay, I am not that girl. Now, once the influencers started to flex them luxury cars and them trips overseas, you know, everybody start wondering what y'all doing. The soft life luxury trend led to what they really doing. That led to the Dubai Porta Potty.
Have any of you been to Dubai?
Never to the Middle East.
That's for prostitutes.
That's good.
I was about to say that
That's
sounds
a
like a
good thing.
code for something.
That for prostitution?
Nobody say yes.
Natalie
But
Nunn?
Nicolette, have you had offers
No.
for Dubai?
No.
Because we've heard some, not about you, just we've heard stories of.
So have I, but no, I have not.
Okay.
Not yet, at least.
All right.
Would you be willing to go?
10K. 100.
For what?
Let's say
10K.
this sultan is like, yo, come out here for 50K. We've got a bunch of dudes that are going to give you a golden shower. Would you be down?
What?
No.
250K golden shower.
It'd have to be at least
That's
$2
a lot of
million. No,
pee room.
I do a golden shower for 500K
Okay.
in Dubai.
Classy lady.
All right.
The danger with Dubai is they got a bad history of taking people, doing what they will with them, and then saying, oh, they self-exited. Oh, they self-harmed. Oh, they got into a wreck and we don't know what the wreck was about. Real bad habit. And there was a case, this young lady named Maria. So Maria was a 20-year-old Ukrainian model. She had the perfect Bratz doll face. She had the body language that said, you know what's going on. And she was an OF creator. She went missing for 10 days. She was found on the side of the road and she had multiple injuries, including a fractured jaw, spine, and multiple limbs were broken. Maria has undergone multiple surgeries, and from what I'm still seeing, she still can't speak. Her family thinks she's possibly a victim of sex trafficking and got involved in that scheme. But you know, Dubai police is saying, no, she fell at a construction site. That's how she got all messed up like that. Huh? I hope and pray that Maria is okay and that more women learn about her story to avoid those types of situations. There also was a Twitter thread that went viral about porta potty situations. I'm going to read this with all the voices. My ex-friend was a Dubai porta potty, but that's a story for another day. Not gonna hold y'all long, but she used the money to buy her man a car for his birthday, and he left her when he found out what she done. He still drive the car though. White bitches have 0.0004 morals, I swear. Okay. So a while back when I was in Costa Rica, I met these white girls who basically were traveling the world. They were fucking wild, but yeah. So this one girl, she's a flight attendant. Let's call her Kate. So Kate was constantly hyping me up about traveling. So one night after the club, we're on the beach with the surf boys. The fucking stories I could tell about these surf boys. And we're telling wild stories. Kate goes, well, I have the wildest. Bitch, nothing prepared me for that fucking roller coaster Kate took us on. So Kate proceeded to tell us that there's this underworld of sex traveling. I don't know this at all, where if you're lucky, some rich guy will invite you on an all expense paid trip just to say he can. Sometimes full on sex is involved, sometimes not so much. She said she was on a private flight from Canada to France, and one of the dudes took a liking to her and invited her to Dubai right there on the spot. She had to be careful taking his info because she could lose her job for fraternizing, but they exchanged numbers anyway. She said he took her out a couple of times in France and it was nice. He was the perfect gentleman, opening doors, paying for experiences, etc. She said he kissed him and he was taken aback like he wasn't expecting that. She thought he would cancel the trip, but he didn't. Mind you, this man is super cute supposedly. So anyways, she's into him too. Anyway, D-Day rolls around. She's boarding her flight in Canada and he's boarding in LA, so they're meeting in Dubai. She told her boyfriend she had a small gig over there and he was like, no problem. She said he set her up in an amazing room with a view and they met up later after they both got some rest. They did dinner, he took her back to the hotel and left. And she's wondering, what the fuck is wrong with this man? If only she knew. So the next morning he texts her and says, get ready, dress classy, you have an hour. Cool. She gets ready and a car picks her up. It's a long ass ride, but oh well. When she finally gets there, it's a beautiful mansion with no neighbors for literal miles. She walks in and it's a bunch of older dudes milling about with each other and girls her age. She's starting to get the idea. It's a bunny ranch. She still doesn't see an issue. Her host greets her and introduces her around a bit, then asks her to go enjoy herself. She's talking with the girls and some are really nice, but a few of them are really nervous. And she just chalks it up to them being newbies. They were not. She said she noticed the men weren't drinking even though there was alcohol everywhere. Most of them were having coffee. At some point in the evening, they all sit down to dinner and she said she'd never eaten that good before. After dinner, they played games and everyone slowly drifted off to bed. She tried to follow her host, but he said no, her room was on the other side of the mansion. Weird. So she passes out and at about 2:30 a.m. there's a soft knock on the door. One of the attendants has come to get her for the games. At 2:30, she puts on some sweats and went. She said where there had been furniture just hours before, the whole place was empty except for buckets and sex toys. The other girls were standing around too. Some were confused, but the nervous girls were shaking now. The men came in and the girls were instructed to strip. Hesitantly, they all did. She said she watched in horror as the jovial fat German man walked over to a bucket, dropped his pants, and took a shit standing over it. He pulled his pants up and walked over to one of the girls and hand fed her his shit, like dipped his hand in the bucket and scooped shit into this girl's mouth. He looked at her expectantly and she started chewing. Take a pause. Whew. So at this point, Kate is fixing to leave and her host lets her know she is stuck there. There are no cars, no one for miles, and they took her phone. He tells her if she wanted to opt out, she'd have to find her own way out and miss out on the money. Money? What money? He proceeded to explain the game. As he does, she looks around. The men are smiling and the girls, well, they're calculating how much they can take. 50,000. Last the weekend and you get 50,000 each. At this point, the girl chewing starts gagging. The man with the bucket holds it out and she pukes into it. He grins wide. He sidesteps to the next girl, silently challenging her, tears in her eyes. She opens her mouth. I'm just gonna list off some of the things she said she did and or witnessed. One girl had the contents of the bucket stuffed up her. Kate ate a solid piece of shit. Girls had to slide across the floor on their stomach licking up shit. There was human centipede actions. All while actual sex and partner swapping was taking place. Mind you, she said the men popped laxatives like Molly all weekend, so they had a free flow of shit. The entire weekend they had to sleep in the filth. And she said she thought the only reason they fed them was so that they'd vomit and increase the nastiness. All while the men went back to their rooms to shower and sleep and whatever else. Several girls opted out and were allowed to clean up and leave. They got nothing. She said on the final night, they were allowed to be sprayed down with the rest of the filth and retired to their rooms. The next morning, they were summoned to breakfast and the men ate and drank and joked like nothing happened all weekend. Each girl collected their cash and she said while she was getting into her car, this sick man, her host, had the audacity to say, hope to see you at the next one. She said when she got back to Canada, she took a work sabbatical and underwent intense therapy because the sight of anything brown and creamy triggered her. She didn't tell her boyfriend about it until a year later, and he promised not to tell anyone what she did, but that he couldn't be with her. He said he was keeping the car though. It was the least she could do after putting him through that. She said it was fair and let him keep it. Clearly, she didn't learn her lesson because I met her while she was doing a sex travel. She did say though that she refuses to meet the men anywhere other than the hotel, bar, and restaurant, and always has backup when they go to the rooms. When she was done, the air was still. The silence was deafening. We were all in fucking shock because why would you ever tell that story? I never spoke to her again. I want y'all to understand, Kate comes from a good home, had a job that lets her travel free, made good money at said job, and still did all that for some fucking Instagram pictures. Some people are beyond saving, brother. Let me tell you what I know. It ain't never that deep. It is not never that deep to get a nice ass Instagram picture on vacation mode that you got to literally eat shit. No. Tell me what y'all think down in the comments. I've been the Just Kaysen brand. Make sure you're following me everywhere at the Just Kaysen brand. If you haven't subscribed, you might as well. You stayed this long. If you're already a member of the Neighborhood, I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.